Hi, everyone. I want to say thank you for taking the time to register for my webinar. Whether you've attended it live or whether you're watching the replay, I really do appreciate you taking the time. I've chosen the topic Shatter Your Limiting Beliefs for the simple reason that I do believe that limiting beliefs are the number one reason why we don't achieve our goals and why we hold ourselves back from trying new things out, for instance. So tonight I'm going to go through what limiting beliefs are, how to identify them, and then how to reframe them into positive beliefs. Okay, so let's have a look. What exactly are limiting beliefs? Well, they are deeply ingrained convictions and assumptions about ourselves, other people, and the world around us. So that is very interesting because a lot of people are aware that you have limiting beliefs within yourself about your own ability. But do you know that you have limiting beliefs about other people around you, which causes you to prejudge them? And about your environment that you're in. So that's also very, very interesting. Another interesting thing about limiting beliefs is that every single body has limiting beliefs. It doesn't matter how confident, how successful somebody looks on the outside to other people around them, that person is also struggling with a limiting belief just like you are. So be kind and be understanding. Try to be understanding with people around you. Right. So before we start on looking at unpacking our limiting beliefs and understanding what they are, I want to share a quote with you, which I love from Tony Robbins. The only thing that's keeping you from getting what you want is the story that you keep telling yourself. Now let that sink in. Become aware of that little voice in your head and what that voice is telling you. Right. So, where do limiting beliefs come from? Now, because they're deeply ingrained in who you are, they're part of your subconscious programming. And as an NLP practitioner, we're taught to help people to work with their subconscious programming and to reframe habits or triggers, etc. And limiting beliefs are deeply embedded in your subconscious programming. And what people don't realize is that 95% of your day is spent um, in subconscious programming mode. There's a lot of things that you do on autopilot. For instance, when you take your kids to school, you hop in the car at home, you're chatting to your kids on the way to school. By the time you get to school, you have no idea how you actually got there. You were not concentrating on, which route to take. It was just automatic. And somehow you got there without crashing your car, without hurting anybody, without breaking any traffic laws. So, driving is a classic example of a subconscious programming that you created when you were already an adult. So, it is possible to learn something new and to change your behaviors, but it does take hard work. When you're a kid, up until about the age of 7, you're like a computer that's just absorbing all the information around you. So you learn from your parents how to be a human being, your parents, your siblings, your aunties and uncles, people that are there around you, often your teachers at school, and they all teach you different things. A child is constantly observing how you behave, and that becomes part of your subconscious programming that's deeply rooted in who you are. Now, the good news is that you can actually change it. So let's just see, it's from uh, limiting beliefs come from past experiences, from societal conditioning, from fear. So if something happened to you that was traumatic in the past, the minute that you're in a situation that could possibly lead to the same outcome, you trigger a fear response. and that can hold you back. And mostly they're often formed in childhood. Right. So let's see. Here are some examples. Do any of these sound familiar? I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough experience. I'm too old to, or I'm too young to. I'll never be a great leader. Sure, a lot of us say these kind of things to ourselves every single day, and we really do believe that it's true. So, why is it important to regularly um, reassess your limiting beliefs and identify them? Firstly, because then you can recognize what's holding you back. You have no idea how many people I have met who know what they want and they've got a plan on how to get it, but for some reason they just don't ever get started, or they do self sabotaging behaviors to prevent their success. And a lot of it is because of your deep rooted limiting beliefs that are preventing them from actually going and getting the life that they want. So, once you know how to assess them and how to identify them, you can recognize what is actually holding you back. And you can challenge and change the beliefs and transform your mindset to achieve your goals and to get the life that you want. So, the first and very first step is awareness. Awareness is your first step towards change for anything, absolutely anything. And if you know something is there, you can do something about it. But you can't make change if you don't know what to change. So the first thing is awareness. So how do you get that awareness? Awareness. So I'm going to share with you a step-by-step process on how to identify your limiting beliefs. And then the second part of this is going to be how to reframe them into positive beliefs. So what I want you to do is, and I'm going to send you by email a copy of these slides. Okay, so I want you to take a notebook or a journal and create columns in that notebook. Now, you can decide to focus on one particular thing that you're frustrated and you're stuck and you're not happy with that, or you could maybe look at 4 or 5 things. Entirely up to you. But create a column for each area of your life which where you're not happy and you're feeling stuck. So let's take an example that I want to start my own business. Right. So I'm stuck because I want to start my own business. I know what I'm going to offer as a business, and I have a business plan, but for some reason, I just don't ever start really going for it. So now I put there, I want to start my own business. Then ask yourself the second step and write in the column underneath that, the next step. Ask yourself, what do I believe about the situation? So, what do I believe about starting this business? Well, I believe that the chances of me succeeding are very low because statistically, most businesses fail, right? So, it's all fine and well having this wild dream that I want to run a business, but really, should I even bother because of the statistics, right? Ask yourself what's stopping you from moving forward. Well, I am stopping myself from moving forward by saying these things to myself, right? It's only me. I can only own it. I can't blame somebody else. I can't complain about it. No, it's just me. Listen to your inner dialogue and what are you constantly telling yourself consistently over and over and over again? Most businesses don't succeed. What makes you think that I'm going to succeed when everybody else doesn't really get it right? Um, yeah. Then look for patterns in your behavior and your decisions. So if you are looking at 4 or 5 areas in your life, maybe there's a common thread between all 4 or 5 of them. and you can see, this is where I've really, really got an issue. Okay, then after this step, once we've identified them, we're going to reframe them. So to reframe means to take something and change the way that it's expressed or considered. So you're going to take your negative limiting belief and you're going to turn it into something positive, but you're not going to lie about it. If you don't have money, you don't say, I have a lot of money in my bank account, because you don't. Your brain knows that you're lying. So don't lie to yourself. I'm going to show you how to reframe them. Okay. So here is the step-by-step process on how to reframe the beliefs. So draw a line across the page, and in the same columns underneath, let's start with the next step. So identify the limiting belief. Now, with this business, what is my limiting belief? My limiting belief isn't that businesses won't succeed, because there's statistical evidence that a lot of businesses fail. Okay. My limiting belief is that actually I'm not good enough to make this business succeed, right? I'm not good enough is probably my limiting belief there. Write it down. Get to the bottom, the core of it. Then challenge the validity of the belief. Ask yourself, is this really true? I am not good enough. Is it really true? No, it's not. It's a load of rubbish. I've got a lot to offer. So why am I telling myself these things? Reframe it into a positive belief and an empowering one. So I don't have all the tools and the knowledge that I need to run a successful business right now, but I can learn and I can find a mentor to guide me. And by doing this, I will succeed if I go for it, right? So that's how you reframe it into a positive belief. Again, look for patterns in your behavior and decision. Constantly reassess. And this is something that you should be doing on a regular basis. Now, if you take your journal and you write all of this down, it could be a hard copy journal that you're writing by hand with your pen. It could be a journal that you create on your mobile phone on the notes section, or it could be something that you do on your computer. Work with whatever you feel comfortable with. But in 6 months' time, I would urge you to go back and have a look, and you'll be surprised at how far you've come. It's amazing. Once you start doing such simple techniques and start becoming more aware of the things that you're telling to yourself and your limiting beliefs, it's amazing how far you can come. So let's just quickly look at those examples. Remember those examples from the beginning? I'm not smart enough. How do you reframe that? You can say, I get smarter as I get older because experience teaches me something that I didn't know before. So you're not saying I am smart enough. You're saying that you have the ability to get smarter and that every day I am getting smarter, because you are. I don't have enough experience. You reframe that too. I may not know everything about this job yet, but I'm capable of learning as I go, and I know I'd be great at it. Okay, so you're not trying to claim that you have experience that you don't have. You're just saying that I can learn and I can get the experience that I need. Right. Okay, so in closing, I want to leave you with this. These are some very wise words from Mahatma Gandhi, and you'll see that your beliefs are the very, very first thing that you need to become aware of, because your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. So if you don't go all the way back to address and identify your limiting beliefs, you will never be able to fix the rest of the house, because that is the absolute foundation, the core of your foundation of your house. And everything else can just come tumbling down. So this is very, very important to look at and to address. Now, homework. Right. So I've given you this knowledge and sowed some seeds here. And what I want you to do is, in your own time, when you're ready, take the slides that I sent you and work through those step processes. The first set of steps to identify your limiting beliefs, and the second set of steps on how to reframe them into positive beliefs. Okay, so follow the instructions on the slides, get yourself a notebook, create a file on your computer, whatever's easiest for you, but do it without distractions and don't overthink it. You need to just write down whatever comes to mind, because that is your subconscious telling you what is the correct thing. Okay, then wrap up and questions. So I'm not doing questions now because I'm recording this presentation once again because we had technical issues with the original recording. But I just want to reiterate. Firstly, every single person has limiting beliefs. It doesn't matter how successful they are, how confident they would seem. They might be the most popular person around, but they have limiting beliefs. They might not have the same limiting beliefs as you, but they're struggling as much with something. You just don't know what it is. And maybe they're better at covering it up than you are. So be kind and be understanding and try to see things from other people's perspectives and help them if you can. The first step to fixing limiting beliefs is to become aware of them. Do the exercises, go through the process so that you can uncover what your limiting beliefs are and become aware of them. Once you're aware of them, you can actually do something about them. Make a list of them, reframe them into positive beliefs. But don't tell yourself a lie, because your brain knows, your mind knows. You can't fool yourself. You can't keep secrets from yourself. Okay, and then practice, practice, practice. So what I do is I take the reframed positive belief, I print it out, I put it, in rather large lettering, and I put it in a place on the wall in front of me, or somewhere where I can see it every single day, and repeat it to yourself and repeat it to yourself until it becomes part of who you are. That's how you create new habits. That's how you create new beliefs, because a belief is one of the habits, and you always go back to something that feels comfortable. So your limiting beliefs feel comfortable because they're all that you know up to now, but you are telling them, hello, I'm boss, right? And I don't want you here anymore. So I'm going to replace you with a positive belief. So take charge of it and do the process, do the work, and revisit it every few months, and you'll be surprised at how far you go. Anyway, so I'm going to email you a copy of this recording as well as a copy of the slides. And I'm also offering 2 free 30-minute coaching sessions for everybody who signed up for this webinar, so that we can see how we can fast track you to achieve the goals that you want. So look out for my email, and I will see you at my next webinar on the 19th of September.